Well, this says the Circle season 2 was already breaking the internet
with its mess. Yeah.
So I think that bodes well. What?
These books that the old guy writes.
Lee?
The Marine in Unit A, the Cowboy in Unit E, the Fireman in Unit C. I feel like these are all connected.
I was going to say
Holiday bows, Cupid's.
BEAU, correct?
Cupid's arrow, yeah. Sweet cravings, primal desires.
So wait, are they gay? No, because he uses a woman's pen name. Okay.
Some of them are gay. Well, it says Lee Swift writing as Chris Cook.
Okay.
Leah's Menage Diary. Misty's Bondage Diary. I'm obsessed.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen. I straight up forgot my name. I'm so obsessed with this.
Are you really?
Yes.
I had to strong arm you into watching season 1 of this.
You did. You really did.
You
got me with what was the Italian guy's name?
Oh, Joey.
Joey. You got me with Joey.
What else would it be?
Yeah. He was great. I liked Joey.
Yeah, I miss Joey, man. Okay, so this is why I'm watching the show. This is why I'm watching The Circle, season 2. We're diving in. We don't typically do reality TV. We do Drag Race, but that's kind of its own thing.
Yeah. That's a competition show. And I guess this kind of is too, but it's different. And I think it's so, I don't know what it is about this show that I can stomach, where it's like the one girl, Chloe's on Too Hot to Handle. I can't do that.
I know what it is about it that you can stomach. It's almost functioning too high.
Okay.
There's too many variables. What I liked about it was, for starters, it's like a crash course in character archetypes.
That's fair.
And I think it's because it's so open. Like, you can be maniacal laugh villain, or you can be just like a general.
Yourself. Yeah.
And there's so much variant. But what I find fascinating about it is it takes so much away from the human experience. They're isolated. They're in rooms and they can communicate, but it's via The Circle, which is like a social network, social media networking website. And so it's sort of like being forced to communicate via tweet or text. So you have to be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And it really breaks emotions, and it breaks things down to their most base forms. So you end up with the end of day 1, and these people are already talking about each other like these are lifelong bonds almost. And because you have to use shorthand, and especially because people can be deceiving you. It really, you kind of end up having to use your gut. Really, I'm like stammering, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Oh, especially because that's like Tara Alicia. That is like how she's approaching the whole thing. She's like, I'm going to sniff out the catfishers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's kind of funny.
And the thing that our takeaway from season 1 was that there was only really like a couple, like 1 or 2 people who chose to catfish.
Yeah.
And almost all of them, it backfired.
There's already 3 right now too, right?
Yes. However, I would put, Trevor, what is Delisa?
Delisa, yeah.
I only consider that half of a catfish because she's being her husband.
Yeah, but everybody's already suspicious of her because of like words she's using.
Well, and she's killed herself off in her scenario.
Yeah.
So she already feels guilty. And that's the crazy thing, is going in, people talk so big about how they're going to win. And because that's the final thing, is you can choose to be strategic, or you can just play this straightforward, like my husband Brody.
Yeah.
I would like to invite you all to our wedding. I love him so much.
Bryant.
Doesn't matter.
He's almost certainly going home real soon.
No.
He doesn't have... Okay, I'll tell you exactly why. Because Seaburn was last in the first vote on season 1, and he made it far, but he doesn't have whatever Seaburn had that made him a human person. Bryant is like he was built in a lab to be a hippie.
I love Bryant.
The thing for me is I don't actually really like him because I feel like he must be a serial killer.
No, it's too much for you. I get that. It would be too much for me long term. So it's going to be a short wedding. I don't know. But no, that's the funniest thing is they like most people end up treating it pretty straightforwardly,
Yeah.
even though you have the option to lie.
I wouldn't be able to keep it straight.
No, well, and furthermore, like I said, they isolate you, so it's like my desire for like this
For
would throw me
bonding.
back to like
Yeah.
a high school place where
Yeah.
I would just be fascinated with the social hierarchy of
Yeah.
everything and like trying to understand it and trying to like, yeah, I love it. So, but no, I think a lot of people who end up catfishing end up regretting it.
Yeah.
They once they are committed, they're like, shit, I don't actually want to be deceiving people. And it's wild how personal it gets so quickly, considering these are people you've never met.
The thing for me is it's the gender swapping doesn't always bother me because one of them did the lesbian was just being a hotter lady.
Mm-hmm.
But the men trying to be women, never works. And this fucking guy, Jack, trying to be Emily, it's not gonna work, dude. But he does have the best apartment.
He has,
his apartment is the best one this season.
Everything is blue and pink, which that's like
it's good,
straight to my heart.
I
but
love it.
He's terrible. I hate it. I was trying so hard for like the first 10 minutes to not be superficial or to not be judgmental or jump to any conclusions, and like everything out of his mouth, I was like, yep. He
like had the audacity to be like, this is the best conversation I've ever had with women in my life. And I was like, yeah, no shit.
And he's 20. I'm like, dude, you're not even.
That's too young.
So
that's definitely too young.
My early favorite is Savannah. She gives me major Sammy vibes.
Yeah.
She just seems the most she seems to have the perfect combination of real but also savvy. Like, I think she could play the game well.
Well, she's also hot, but she's smart, which is helpful.
My first note was I said cute, but maybe a bit too much.
Maybe.
She was wearing a pink corset, which, God bless.
Yeah.
I mean, no judgment from me there. It sounds like it. I'm not kidding. You think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Obviously, Bryant, I love him. He has a photo hugging a dolphin, and he has lived many lifetimes. And he was wearing the best t-shirt.
His t-shirt was great, but it's a no for me. This is his fucking picture on this Instagram bullshit. It's a no for me.
I'll pull that. So, Teralicia.
Yeah, I like her.
She's also 34.
Yeah.
And a substitute teacher. So, if bet on Teralicia.
Well, and she's got a math and some kind of science degree.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, her blue braids in the two little buns were like killing me. I loved it.
And she's a Leo and a vegan. I mean, she'll be our overlord by the time this is over. So I'm betting hard on Teralicia.
I welcome my new Teralicia overlord.
I think if her and Savannah could join forces, they are the
influencers.
They're currently they could rule the world.
Yeah.
I like Delisa. Like I said, I think she already regrets.
Yeah.
Lying or deceiving rather. Lee is cute. I think he's out of his element.
Yeah,
like 100%. 3 ways over.
He didn't know what YOLO meant. The producers had to tell him like 3 times.
But the thing is, because he was so cringy when he was using all like the slang in video, like in conversation and talking. But it might work because you have to rely on things like hashtags and stuff to communicate when you've had so much of. I mean, your other senses are removed, so that might work in his favor in this.
Maybe. I'm a little worried about his, like, demeanor, I guess. And the other thing, too, is, like, I legitimately feel like if he had gone in as himself, it would have been endearing.
Oh, absolutely. A
58-year-old man, a 58-year-old gay man who writes romance novels under a female pseudonym would have been really endearing. And the River guy is hot. But
he's too young.
He's definitely too young.
I believe that he's talented, and I believe that he can spin fiction. But isn't River supposed to be like 23 or something? And I was like, that was way too.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
It was a big gamble. I'm not sure it's gonna pay off.
Are you ready to talk about Chloe?
Okay.
Proper fit.
She wasn't that bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's not that bad, but she was. I can't handle the way that British people say sixth because they like swallow the X. So it just sounds like they're saying sixth.
Seth. I'm in Seth's place.
So she kept saying it and I was just like, ugh. Okay. Here's the thing about Chloe. she's better than that bitch girl from last season.
She is better than that girl.
And she's definitely got a personality that is fun, and I can see her being fun on the show, but she's already made an enemy of Tara Alicia just for her personality.
Yeah.
So I feel like she is not
just
long
her
for
whole
this
vibe.
season. Yeah.
Well, she might be. So apparently she was on another reality show.
Yeah,
that
Too Hot to Handle.
2 of them already
Yeah.
knew. Was it popular?
It was another Netflix thing. It's just like hot people
okay.
dating each other in like
Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that it was a Netflix thing is why I now understand.
Yeah.
I was like, are these people plugged into British reality TV?
No.
Okay, no, I get it now. She's terrible. She's horrible. She's awful. And she's just a hint of okay, or I'm going real hard. She has a streak of like realness or coolness that I can't tell. It's either going to be her saving grace or it's going to damn her. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she needed to be all terrible or all cool. And she's walking this tightrope in between.
Yeah. The thing for me is like having glimpsed a little bit more of her. Yeah. Okay. So sorry. On the shores of paradise, gorgeous singles meet and mingle, but there's a twist. To win $100,000, they have to give up sex. So it's like.
Okay, I remember that one. Well, she said she won $10, which.
I don't.
Was that a
didn't
joke?
Win the show. I don't know how. I didn't watch it, so I don't know how the like prizes are.
She's also she's 21 and it's too young.
It's too young.
It's too young.
So that means she was like 19 when she was filming Too Hot to Handle, which is kind of icky.
We have Courtney. I like Courtney.
I like Courtney.
We haven't gotten a ton of him. He. The only note I wrote is definitely a bitch, because the first thing out of his mouth is he's like, people think I'm a bitch and I'm not. I'm like,
but
bitch.
You are then.
And he's a pop culture commentator. Those are the worst. Can't trust that. We really? Yeah. So Bryant was 8th.
Yeah.
Although, and again, this is where the show's interesting, is because not everybody's, there's not one set strategy.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes a strategy can help you and sometimes it can screw you over.
Well, and I thought it was interesting. I knew he was going to be last because I was like, everybody was like, well, everybody else is going to vote him first, so I'm going to put him last because he doesn't need it.
Which is really weird. Like, I was like, and I think that's where
it's very 2016 presidential election vibes.
We don't talk about the Goose Goblin. But I think that's the element that keeps this from being just vicious. Because when pitching a show, it sounds like a popularity contest. I mean, it is a popularity contest, but it sounds way meaner than what it ends up being.
Yeah.
And that was, if season 1 was any indication, that's what our takeaway was that it was surprisingly tender. Like, surprisingly sweet.
And the thing is like, you could be like, well, they're all acting, and to a certain point they are, but I think what's fascinating is how guilty the influencers always feel about who they have to block. They like guts
what was
them.
No, but like, what's that the prison experiment or whatever?
The
like
Stanford prison
I mean, this goes skyrockets right to that place where suddenly it's like, I mean, yeah, there's something to win in the form of a cash prize, but you're right. I mean, they go to life or death, like Lord of the Flies places, and but not vicious. So yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I do remember in season 1 that it does have weird stopping points. Like, there's not quite a formula. It ends when it ends.
I don't mind.
So yeah, we'll go watch the second episode and we'll check back in when that's done.
Yeah.
Hope my husband's still here.
The Marine in Unit A, a gay college romance.